All right guys, in this video, I'm gonna talk about where you should live. Hypothetical you, we're not gonna do steering, but we are gonna define that. Why I chose to live where I live, where I came from, and where I'd live if I wanted to rattle things, shake things up. This is just a small piece of what we do in a buyer's consult when people come into our website. We're also gonna talk about and show you a home that our clients bought, why they chose to live in that area and buy that home. What I did was I had the team text me and give me a bunch of hypotheticals. Retiring person with this, young person with kids, young person without kids, moving from the mainland, local. I really gotta get into some deep nuance. So I think this is a fun one. I think this is a super fitting one for the channel. Let's go to our client's home that they're buying right now. We're standing here today in Ewa Beach in the Sonoma neighborhood. If you watched our Christmas Tree Lane video we shot on during Christmas week, this street lights up. It's like the craziest Christmas tree street on the island at Christmas time. One of our viewers, shout outs to Ben and Roma, they came from this channel. They said, hey, we came for a house hunting trip. We actually like the Ewa Beach neighborhood. We understand that you grew up that way and there's this listing going right now. And over weeks of negotiation, they're buying this house. We got this house down tens of thousands of dollars, and buyer and seller are happy. They had the financial strength to pull the trigger on a lot of things. Why did they choose this house in Ewa Beach and Ewa Gentry? I'm trying to think the best way to bring you guys in. When I first entered this home, when I was showing it, I went around the back and the first thing I saw was the pool. But I'm gonna bring you guys through the front door. We'll just do the classic front door. Hey, don't mind if you see me with shoes on. The house has been vacant for a long time. This model in Sonoma could have been a 5 or a 4 bedroom, depending on how this upstairs situation was ordered or the builder built it. That is an entire extension, and that's important to these clients and why they bought it. Mom and dad are moving in too, so they need a space where mom and dad can live. So as you walk in, there's a bedroom here, bathroom. I wonder if they figure out a way to open that bedroom into the garage and turn that into a bit of a living space. Charles from Coastal Home Solutions in the film, in my shot. Charles and I go back to Home Depot days. I was 18, 19. He almost killed me in his Mitsubishi Eclipse. One of the things that the buyers envisioned for this space, at least this was my recommendation. I'll have to check with them if they agree. But right where Kenji's standing, so I'll push you guys back, viewers. This could be French doors. It wouldn't, block off the entire space. You create a feeling of depth still with the French doors and the glass that opens, and then an additional, like a living room right here. And then from that living room, you could put another door and then have a living space there for mom and dad. We'll see. Check out the kitchen over here. Not a ton to say about the kitchen except for it's nice, it's big, there's an island, it leads to the garage. A lot of these Gentry homes, they had this little alcove thing where you could have like a home office. Back in the day, we probably had our house phone here, right? Leave me a comment if you ever had a house phone. I hope so. Really, the big feature of this home is the pool in the yard. So the yard was just cut. It wasn't cut like that last time I was here. Steering doesn't mean that we can't tell you, give you advice on where to live and what we think about a place and why you might like a place better. We can do that. What we can't do is steer you to certain places or away from places based on protected classes. So before we get started, I'm just gonna read this real quick. Steering refers to the illegal practice of directing a prospective home buyer toward or away from a particular neighborhood or area based on protected characteristics. You know that this channel brings you the gold. We go and navigate places that other people won't in our industry. So in no way am I saying because you're white, you should move here. Because you are Hawaiian, you should move here. We're gonna throw in some hypothetical profiles that do not involve those things. Sound good? So ask and the team will deliver. First one I got. Young military couple, no kids. It's gonna depend on what base you're stationed at, right? But if I just have to pick one, because I don't know if you're gonna be at Schofield Wheeler, I don't know if you're gonna be at Pearl Harbor Hickam, Shafter, Tripler, Kaneohe Marine Corps Base. For my coasties, Sand Island, the Federal Building, Barbers Point. Since I don't know where you're going to be, I'm a little more bullish on townhomes than condos. And they said young, so I'm thinking the budget probably isn't infinite. I'm gonna go townhome in Mililani. Townhome in Mililani is something that I like the exits. I like that people typically wanna buy into those school districts. I like that the commute isn't as bad as Eva's commute if I'm going all the way to Kaneohe Marine Corps Base or Hickam or something. For weekend activities, you can shoot to the North Shore quick. You can shoot down to Barbers Point and surf quick. You can shoot into town and it's all kind of equidistance. And if you want to go do the kailua thing, you can do that too. Probably can stay within BAH and still have an extra room. Local dual income first-time home buyers. All right, local dual income first-time home buyers. Well, for one, congratulations to my local couple, dual income, buying a house. I love it. I'm proud of you guys. There are some loan programs for first-time home buyers that sometimes differ, but for the most part, first-time home buyer, it's just more of a marketing thing. And me being a marketing guy, look at us having a conversation on YouTube together. But if we were to take that to mean that budget is a little lower, I think it just depends. But since I don't want to say townhome in Mililani, I'm gonna go small single family in Waipio. Your local couple, you have kids, you want more square footage, your dollar is gonna go the furthest than ever. But also, I'm always looking at exits. So for my local couple, you guys aren't PCSing, leaving in 3 years or 4 years. So far, I've gotten young, first-time home buyer, these things from my team that imply like more entry-level budget. And single family homes, in Eva, you could start sometimes in the 700s with a HOA, but for the most part, start in the 800s and then into the 900s. If you move to the windward side, to Kaneohe, Kailua, you're starting more 1.1s, Kailua, 1.2, 1.3. Closer to town, Aiea, Moanalua, Nu'uanu, Manoa. These places are just not first-time home buyer typical places, if that is to imply the budget is limited. So young couple, young kids, I'm going back to Mililani. Mililani, you know what? I'll be a little more specific. Mililani Mauka Townhome. When I looked at schooldigger.com and the ratings, those 2 schools in Mililani Mauka, 2 elementary schools, Mililani Mauka Elementary and Mililani Ike Elementary, they were both rated like 9 out of 10, high test score kind of situation. So I'll say Mililani Mauka Townhome to be a little more specific. This is a good one. Shout outs to my guy Kenny from our team. Couple with 1 child working opposite sides of the island. 1 millish, 1.2. We're assuming one person has to go to the heart of town. When you say opposite sides of the island, you're usually not talking like Laie, Kahuku, Polynesian Culture Center, or even Hawaii Kai. Like, they're not working at Sea Life Park. Cut me some slack in the comment section. Let's just assume town. They're working in town and Kapolei. That's a more likely outcome for people working on separate sides of the island. If we're talking town or Kapolei, I'm still moving closer to town in whatever school district that person wants to be in, right? Because the reverse commute, the Kapolei commuter, it's all reverse. Even if you live in town and they go to Kapolei, it's still a reverse commute. All of the traffic's going from like the west side into Honolulu, into the heart of Honolulu. If you live Hawaii Kai, it's going from Hawaii Kai into Honolulu, right, into town. I'm gonna throw a wild card out there for this one. Do myself a favor, throw myself a bone. Grandparents watch the child, so it's all good. I don't have to worry about kid drop off and coordinate a third element. I'm gonna go Kaneohe on this one. People are like, Kaneohe, opposite sides of the island. Well, if you live Kaneohe, commuting into Kapolei from the H3, it's not too bad. And commuting into town, predictable. I mean, it's not the best commute in the world, but it's predictable. If I weren't going Kaneohe, I'd probably be going Aiea. Aiea would be the more obvious selection, but you could do Kaneohe too. This is a 10,000 square foot lot, I believe, forever, for gentry, for newer construction. For Hawaii and Oahu in general, this is a really big yard. Now, drawback is that's a busy road, so you can, right now there's a little bit of a white noise. If a Harley Davidson or something were to go by, you'd probably even hear it in here. But just soft white noise. I hear the leaves ruffling just as much as I hear the white noise from just tires passing on the street. But you have this swimming pool, a huge yard, a ton of square footage. It's probably the biggest home in the neighborhood, and Ewa Beach is hot. So I live in Mililani. I think about getting a pool and I'm like, half the time it's too cold. I wouldn't want to get in a pool, at least half the time, unless it were heated, which is gonna make that pool even more expensive. In Ewa Beach, I would want a pool, and I could do a pool all year long. It's enough space, and for some buyers, this could be quirky, but for them, with the multi-living, they could do a lot of different things. So when I show you the upstairs, you'll see it even more. So up here, with this floor plan, sometimes there's a bedroom here. Sometimes this is the 5th bedroom. This is probably 20 by 10. In this situation, they decided to keep this a living room. Really enough room for there to be a small, typical Hawaii bedroom here, and a man cave or woman cave or yoga room of sorts. Problem is, there's this vent right here. There's not those 6 inches for double wall construction. Probably have to move this vent over, dedicate that to this space, put your wall here. That's what I would do. Let me know. Would you keep this as a second upstairs living room, or would you zone it off, make another room of sorts over there, divide it into two. Nothing incredibly special to note here. We'll show you the primary master bedroom situation. What I will say is this sort of balcony, ravine type of thing is not common here in Hawaii. You're only gonna find this in newer construction. You can go to Texas, right, and get a home like this for 300, 400,000, depending on the neighborhood, and this is no big deal. You come into a Hawaii home that has something like this, it's kind of like, okay, I see you. This isn't selling Sunset, but this to give you an idea. If this home didn't have the additions that it has and didn't have the pool and the huge yard, this is around a 1.1. I think that the last one that sold should have sold higher, but in any case, the last one that sold similar, around 1.1. 1.1, 1.2, since this video is evergreen, this is the kind of home you could get if you want that big square footage, that 2,500, 2,800 type of square footage. Now, by mainland standards, this wouldn't be a huge bedroom. By Hawaii standards, this is a pretty solid primary master bed. If this didn't get tied up, we were writing an offer for a home that was about 1,000 square foot smaller. Like, they just want a certain thing in Hawaii. Not only do I not typically give you this whole HGTV, this features, but also this is just not a home in a situation that's conducive to that. But I would love to have a bathroom space this big for my wife and I, with the double sink, with some renovation, some vision. This home could be amazing. Single military guy, no kids, no pets, $750 and under. Because single military, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna encourage you to house hack. I'm gonna encourage you to get a home that you can rent out the other rooms, build wealth, get that free mortgage paid down from your, I mean, it's not free because you gotta deal with co-inhabitants, but I'm gonna have people rent the other rooms. I'm gonna move into the garage. I'm gonna build wealth, single military guy. Assuming that is not the play, single, I assume I'm on the, you know, I'm scouting. I'm gonna go downtown Honolulu with the new development that we did a video on, Modea, or Capitol Place in downtown Honolulu. I'm gonna get this nice, elevated, kind of bougie condo situation, and I'm gonna be around amongst other singles and make my play, my wealth building play. Single lady with big dog, 800,000 and under. How old should this lady be?
50.
50?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to make it so that that doesn't imply the dog needs a yard, but I think the dog just needs a yard. 800,000. Oh, and 800 is tough. 800 really doesn't get you into the single family situations that I want you to get into. So 800, like if they had said 900,000, easy. But 800,000, big dog, it would be easy for me to say Sea Country and Waianae. Your 800,000 go far, you get a big yard, but that I don't want that dog dying of a heat stroke. And I don't know that Eva is too much better. If I go Makakilo, the walking of the dog is just gonna be cumbersome, and it's just gonna, you know, not be favorable. I'm going Launani Valley, single family. You can walk the dog. There's no reason to go there unless you're living there or visiting someone. Nice walking. You could achieve a yard. I'm going single family in Launani. I might have to cheat up a little, 830. That was a tough one. Married couple with 2 kids bringing in-laws for babysitting multi-gen, 1 million. Well, in this video, the second storyline to this video is a married couple with kids bringing multi-gen for babysitting, but not $1 million. You would think $1 million would get you a lot, but when you're trying to achieve that in-law studio, Wahiawa's got some sleepers, but $1 million just doesn't. Well, $1 million could work in Wahiawa. I almost want to say like Pearl City, but that in-law, the type of home we're talking about, it's going to go over $1 million. We're talking school district. Is this family from Makaha? You know, are they from Nebraska? You know, living with the in-laws at $1 million, it's just going to be tough. I'm going Ewa Beach. I'm going Ewa Beach. You get the biggest home you can get that isn't all the way Waianae. You can go to Holomua Elementary, have a gentry-ish kind of area for $1 million. And if you even got to get creative and mess with the garage, you're less likely to have neighbors complain in some of those Ewa Gentry neighborhoods. So I'm going Ewa Beach, older Ewa Gentry, 90s, 2000s Ewa Gentry. Oh, she said maybe 1.2. Let me amend that one then, maybe 1.2. Depending on the in-laws, at 1.2 million, if I can make it work, I might get 2 spots. I might get a smaller single family and the smallest condo, like townhome situation close by in Ewa. You can still achieve both of those in Ewa if the finances work so you can divide the 1.2. I might try to achieve that. Like a $400,000 small 2.1. I might need 1.3, 1.35 to achieve that. Something in Evo. Okay, last one from my team. And let me know if you guys like this. If you like this format, put your profile, like put your description, how many kids, how many, you know, what's the budget gonna be, etc. In-laws coming, in-laws not coming. And we'll do these videos based on you. This is really what we do in a buyer's consultation, but way more in depth. We can't achieve the full thing here, but this is fun. So let me know if you want more of this. Even load me up with hypotheticals. Young couple, no kids, want to be walkable to bars and dining, 600K and under. I think I'm going Modea again. Modea is gonna be a little bit over 600 though. You could do something on the Alawai in Waikiki. That's something I haven't thrown out. Something on the Alawai in Waikiki if you're okay with that Waikiki life. But if not, and you're able to do downtown Honolulu, I'm doing something in downtown. If you're saying walkable to bars and dining, you're probably not talking about Pearl Ridge, but in the Pearl Ridge, Aiea area on Ko'uka Loop, there's some buildings there. You can walk into some gyms and some stuff there, but it's not like that city bar dining, you know, there's not cool eats like that. So I'm probably going downtown Honolulu because if you're getting a condo at 600,000, that's where you're gonna get the most for your money. And a place that's trendy still. For sellers, or you know what, just for refinancers, for homeowners, or you wanna sell in a year from now, it's better to understand your home's value today. My friend lived there, sold her house during the pandemic, got her a house down the street off market so that auntie, 95 years old, could live in the home on the first floor. The good news is we're able to reposition into something that she got for probably $100,000 undervalued. MyHawaiiHomeValue.com. My name is Derek Okahashi. My team is called Core Team Hawaii. I'm just obsessed with this stuff. I love real estate. I love talking about it. I love helping. So please hit us up. Let's talk about me. Moved home, 2 kids. One was starting kindergarten, one still in diapers. Grew up Eva, Makakilo, in these areas, and you know, we had to choose to live somewhere. We went to Mililani. My wife liked the elementary schools, her being a teacher at the time. I guess once a teacher, always a teacher, but you know, now she does something else. But she really liked the schools. She continues to love the schools. I wanted cooler weather. I did not. We came here to shoot this because I knew that since we were in Eva today, I know that this place is shaded all day, so it would just be cooler. We were just a couple miles down the road, but because that's been getting heat all day, it's just baking. This is like the one cool spot in Eva I know about because of all of these monkey pod trees just lining everything here in the back of West Lock Fairways. I wanted to avoid the heat. I don't feel this way the way I did when I was first coming home, but I also didn't want to return to the feeling of the high school hierarchy and the acquaintances who I didn't want to see. I was a little too caught up in that when I came home, but that's because Eva was home for me, right? Like if you're from small town Utah, you go back to small town Utah, you see the same guy in the bar, it's like not fun, right? I was avoiding that thing, so I didn't come back to Eva, but we went to Mililani. But we started out renting when we came home and then we bought. When we went to buy, we were super challenged with Eva. We went to homes in Ocean Point that were the same budget as our home in Mililani, and we were like, oh man. I remember my wife, because kids were sleeping, so she went in, I went in, we were doing the trade-off thing. We have young kids, and she came out and she's like, why did you show me this? These homes are so nice. Like there's a nook where I'd have a bookshelf and I'd read my book in the window, and this home's so nice. We were really challenged by it. And it was a time the market was crazy. If the market was a little more calm and we had time to breathe, who knows, maybe we would have acted on that. We love playing the game of the where would you live, where would you step up to, what is the dream? Well, for me, the dream would eventually be some condo in town, as well as a house. Maybe North Shore, Pupukea, maybe Kaneohe, something like that. Like that might be the dream, having both of those, one for like the weekends and one for the week or something. But a more realistic next step up, I'm likely to buy a nicer home in Mililani. We're just rooted there, we're comfortable. But sometimes I think about just shaking the can, just shaking it up. And what would I do if we did that? I'm very challenged by Kailua. My wife is not interested, but I also have been known to sort of nudge her in a direction and it work out at times. And I know she'd enjoy downtown Kailua. I know she'd enjoy the coffee shops and the places to work out and the breweries. And that's like what we had when we spent a decade of our lives in California. Hawaii Kai, for me, not Hawaii Kai, is just unnecessarily far away from things. If I'm more windward side, Kailua, Kaneohe, I still feel like I can shoot into our family and go surf, although I just do real estate and take care of kids and coach basketball now. I don't really surf, but I can go do the beach things I want, North Shore. From Hawaii Kai, it's unnecessarily far out from things, and I don't like have a boat or anything right now. So where would I step up to if not Mililani? Ko'olina, I don't want to live on that resort full time, although I do own a property there as an investment. Makakilo, I mean, we're talking about Derek's realistic budget, and what would be a step up for me? We're talking a home that's probably worth like 1.5 million or something. But I live in a small home. I live modestly. I focus on maybe trying to go to the gym, go to my kids' games, and enjoying life more than having this home that I'm a slave to. But if I step up to a nicer house, Makakilo, I could get a gorgeous view. All right, that's what it'd be for me. Mililani's the obvious choice. Makakilo, a little bit of a change, not a huge change, a little bit bigger of a change. I go Kaneohea Kailua.